Is Call of Dragons dying? That's the one question that's always asked, always brought up, and even in comments people say the game's dying already, and it's only been basically 1 year after its, official launch on this kind of global development stage that it's currently going through. So let's go through some data and let's go in depth as well on some of the reasons why I think maybe Call of Dragons is in a lesser popular position than it could currently be in. Hello, yes, smash a like up and subscribe for more daily videos with me, MrSneakyy, an official Call of Dragons content creator. And you know what we are here talking about is Call of Dragons dying or not. And the best way to talk about this, I'm going to talk about some analytics. And a really cool thing you can always do is go on Google, and you can check out on Google here basically these analytics to do with how many people search a term. So what we're doing right now, we've got a blue line, and we're going to obviously scroll up so you can see it a little bit easier. We've got the blue line that represents Call of Dragons, and the red one that is obviously Rise of Kingdoms, the one that everyone loves and adores, right? And what we can do is, if we go currently, this is in the past 12 months, right? So this is basically the lifespan of Call of Dragons, right? And if we go up here, we can see some cool stuff, right? We can see the average is in the favor of obviously Rise of Kingdoms being the older game, but Call of Dragons still holding a nice rating of 29. So what happened? So we can see here in the basically launch time, it went off really well, and obviously like most games, it kind of went down really, over time, over the next 2 months. It's gone down into this little dip, and then again rose above in June, but now we're on this little kind of steady, line of where it is. But you can see the interest is very similar between both games, right? And sometimes you can see Call of Dragons almost peaking up to where you've got Rise of Kingdoms here, and even look within one, of how much search history this is. And you gotta remember, this is in the past 12 months. This is broken down worldwide, and we can go down even further here, and we can even see, look, Thailand, China, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and South Korea, like the interest of the game, difference of Call of Dragons to Rise of Kingdoms. So you can actually see how many people really like Call of Dragons. It's all on the other side, look. And the more we're getting towards the EU at the moment, it's 50-50, which I find very interesting. The fact that you go across, and the more across you go to the western side, where people are basically still playing Rise of Kingdoms over Call of Dragons, right? Which is, again, to be expected because it's the older game. So here you can again see the search queries, breakouts, what gets searched the most on COD. You can see the search interest still very similar to everywhere around in like the Europe and Western, but as soon as you hit China and all these other countries, that's when you're hitting the big ones, right? So maybe it's, still early days for it. And the cool thing which I got as well is the Rise of Kingdoms one. So this is Rise of Kingdoms only from when it originally came out to the present day. And you can see here a very similar story, but technically worse, where at the beginning of time, obviously no one really searched for it, and then it went rock bottom for some reason in the 2017-2018 stages. No one was searching for this game, but then it hit 2018 and September, and look at the popularity, and you can see certain times, it's in that same state in the 20s to 30s, like Call of Dragons is currently. It's going around, and as it's going into the next years, you can see it starting to gain the bigger popularity that it has to today's date, right? Where it's getting that higher consistency, where it's getting the 50s to 60 pluses, going all up to 80, which is really good. But again, you can see this game having a very similar curve to what Call of Dragons is. So this is why I'm kind of saying, guys, like, I wouldn't say the game is dead. I just think what the problem is, and what the big issue is when we go into the game, is just what the game has to offer, right? So if we look at Call of Dragons and what this game has to offer, you've got to think it is trying to sell the cool combat of having the different types of units in the game. So you can have obviously this nice little rock, paper, scissors and gun with the mage, archers, the cavalry and infantry, and bringing the ranged combat into the game, which is really refreshing, it's really cool, and it's actually creating a really in-depth PvP experience, which people love. People love the PvP in this game. They really do. Like, Season 1 map, I've never... Like, now, the amount of praise they get on how much they enjoy that map is insane. And Season 2, though, this is where we start to get into the problems. Because when Season 2 comes around, this is where I think, personally, players just personally wanted better results, because the game has such good PvP, and the way they were trying to address this is obviously through the runic statues, but these don't really give really good individualistic rewards, or even rewards as like a weekly event when you go to partake in them. So it's just like not worth the player's time, so they don't really care about these. And on top of that, there's not much, personally, fighting that does occur in the game. You normally see these regions open up and maybe the fight lasts a couple of days and someone surrenders and basically exits, and then you're going back to Farmville for so long. And that's, I think, what people dislike, that at the moment all the action is always in this final zone, and it only relies on the final zone, and people kind of want to be able to fight sooner on their own, you know, terms, like being able to invade and stuff. So that's kind of like one of the issues that's in the game. Another one that has been addressed, which was going to be one of the issues, was kind of like how the migration and there's no real home kingdoms. But as you guys know, of recent, there is a new announcement where they are bringing these home-based kingdoms and cross-server migration, which is really good. So that's another step in the right direction. But there's more problems. And one problem which I still personally have is the PvE content. And that's one thing which I think this game honestly tries to sell itself on a really good platter, because again, you have all this competitiveness in the PvE realm with the elite frame raids, right? Trying to get all of these elite frame raids is like everyone's dream, to have them so they can flex them on their opponents who might not have them, right? So doing that is really cool. Plus, on top of this, you know, just doing the raids themselves are really entertaining and really fun when it's done correctly, right? But the problem what we've had so far in this season is like the behemoths feel overtuned, where they're just killing everyone. They're not really something that people can do, which is kind of a, you know, a downside on it. But on top of that, you have also the other PvE feature, which is the war pet system. And the war pet system, again, is a really cool system, and they have improved on this since the last time, right? They've allowed players now the ability, so if they really wanted to go to any of these pets, they could realistically go to one of them, hit the skill button here, and actually put one of these skills, like Resonance, and actually like choose to learn it onto this skill. So if I just click learn, I can literally just choose to replace this pain bloom, which I'm not going to do at the moment, but you know, you can replace it and choose where you want it. And if you want to, you can even again unlock new slots by just simply even, you know, buying and using 45 coins or hitting prioritize stuff that you already have, which is kind of random, which I don't like. But again, the main issue with all these cool things that they've improved on is that there's so many pets in the game, and they've already hinted with 2 more coming with the informational picture of Toha and obviously Bertrand on the Discord and on the Facebook posts and announcements, right? The thing that we still have a problem is the warrants, right? You basically have this really fun game mode, but the community can't really get access to it. And that's kind of the big issue with this game, where we have such a great game and it has such a great foundation that I believe that can make a really powerful mobile and PC cross-playing game that we all enjoy. But it's restricting the basic foundations, the things that honestly would make a player potentially play the game for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours without PvP combat, right? Because They can't always be PvP. And the thing is, I haven't mentioned, and you're probably screaming in the comments, events, events, events. The thing is, I'm not too worried about events. We've already seen them adding more and more events in the game, and the thing is, I can see over time they're going to add more and more events. So this is going to be a really good, you know, position once they've got those events in. So you might be asking now, MrSneakyy, when do you think this game might pop off? And I've always said the kind of the same thing for quite a while now, which is, I think Call of Dragons is going to actually pop off once Season 3 or Season 3 Plus mainly is completed. Because once Season 3 Plus is completed, and the reason why I'm saying Season 3 Plus is because normally you have a Season 3 and that's the initial map, and maybe it's just not working, maybe it's not good, so they make a Season 3 Plus to amend the changes to make it a better playable experience. So in the future, mind the language, mind the throat, in the future, you have the ability to go from Season 1, 2, and 3 with the best optimal experience for the player, where you enjoy it over, you know, a miserable map or a miserable time in that, you know, season. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think Season 1, 2, and 3 will be completed, and once those are completed, I think players are going to come because they're going to have a reason to play, because now they can basically look at it almost like Rise of Kingdoms, where you complete KVK 1, 2, and 3, and then now you know you're basically in the Season of Conquest, where all the future seasons coming out are going to be like matchmakes, and you may have the choice to pick one of these, right? If they're continuing on some of the similar formulas that they've taken from Rise of Kingdoms and implemented in Call of Dragons, right? So I hope you enjoyed the video. It's not going to be a long one, right? It's nice and easy. Is Call of Dragons dying? I don't think so. I think it's on the exact path that I have projected it on. It's doing well, and we can see, to be honest, one really good thing as well. Some of the time we are seeing the Call of Dragons devs actually listen to the community, right? They rolled back on some changes. They've listened to the you know, the community on like the war pet stuff, and you can see they are trying to work with us, right? So I have faith, right? I have faith and hope that the devs and the community are going to come in hand, and they're going to basically work together over time to make basically the best 4X city building game on mobile PC crossplay experience, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's my take. Is Call of Dragons dying? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' takes. Don't go too crazy. Remember, this is just an opinion, guys. I'm not saying anything here is factual. I'm just bringing you some statistics, my thoughts, into a nice video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Smash like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video out, as you guys know. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.